the good energy while it lasts. So you do this every Saturday from 6 to 8?
Every Saturday, 6 o'clock p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. Here on Instinct Radio.
Oh, gosh!
Exactly.
It's burned into your memory. It is burned into your memory. Tinsley, okay. So you have this sit your ass down? Tinsley was telling me about it the night at Black Panther.
Okay, we're going to do it today. You get to be a part of it
My
today.
goodness. She was just telling me.
Is she?
Yeah. And it was kind of, she was saying it, but it was a lot going on, so it was kind of working one way out the other. But then I saw,
Full effect tonight.
oh wow, she raved about it. She liked the idea.
Have fun with it. This one is a good one. It's like, they just make it too easy.
What it, okay.
You need me to log in? Brother Omar.
Yep.
All right, on my page, in just a moment, you're going to see us going live.
All right. Am I supposed to be at the top of the page, the bottom, middle, or what?
It's going to pop up at the top.
Okay.
Thank you, gorgeous. It's definitely a skill.
A skill I never had.
Who is that on the radio?
Who is that on the radio?
Who is that on the radio?
You really want to know who's on the radio? Come on. Let's talk about it.
Jeffrey. Let's talk about it live with Jeffrey L. Miller. Watching is the best decision you'll ever make. Saturdays from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. Call or text in live 478-569-6474. Hashtag Let's Talk with Jeffrey. Check us out on www.instinctradio.net or download the Instinct Radio app in your Apple or your Google Play Store.
Let's give them something to talk about.
It's almost showtime, people. Let's tune in to see what Jeffrey has in store for us tonight. And here's your host, Jeffrey L. Miller.
On Instinct Radio, what's going on? Facebook family, Instagram family, YouTube, your mama tube, everybody's tube. What's going on? It's Let's Talk About It Live with Jeffrey L. Miller. Every Saturday from 6 o'clock p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. This is exactly how we do it. Now, listen, we got a lot of people that will be joining us today. I'd like to take this moment, first of all, to welcome all the guests. And we're going to introduce them. Now, we're going to start right here. Come right here. Then we'll go to the phone. You are?
Hello, everyone. I'm Tamisha, the Gypsy Empress.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
All right. And
Hello, everyone. I am Devion. Dev is probably a little bit easier to remember.
okay. Welcome
Thanks
to the
for
show.
having us. Thank you.
Thank you.
On the phone with us, we have Brother Omar Tyree, internationally acclaimed author. Welcome to the show, Brother Omar.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man. I can't wait for you to go ahead and get it popping.
All right, good deal, good deal. Now listen, we're going to talk about the Black Panther today,
Let's do it.
my autobiography, that premiered Thursday. Now, if you have seen the movie, first of all, you know it's off the chain. It's ridiculous. It's deep on multiple levels, all types of imagery and messages. It's a great movie that just happens to be a superhero film. Great movie. That's in the superhero genre. But before we get to that part, we have a bit of a tradition. Now, you've heard our guests speak. We've welcomed them. We've shown them the right type of etiquette. But
Here we go.
Just got nervous.
you know what time it is.
Okay, now.
It is time for you to close your mouth and listen. You ask me some questions, I give you some answers from a man's point of view.
And a woman.
A man's point of view. Now, I got one reason for the habitually single woman and one reason for the habitually single man as to why they might be single. But before I do that, here is my disclaimer. Now, what I'm going to talk about might not apply to you. If it doesn't apply to you, I don't want you to put your foot up in this shoe. But if it does apply to you, I want you to put both feet in both shoes and walk around in them because you're going to learn something tonight, ladies. Ladies, you are first.
Cute disclaimer.
You are
That's
first.
really good.
All right, ladies.
Very good.
You might be single because of your mouth. I need you to hear me, ladies. You might be single because of your mouth. Your uncontrollable mouth. Don't get it twisted now. If your man comes home at 4 o'clock in the morning, you're supposed to have something to say. If your man doesn't treat you right, you're supposed to verbalize and vocalize that. If your man used to do something in the beginning, but he don't do it now, yes, you're not supposed to be happy with that. That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that mouth that get mad because your man is 5 minutes late getting home once in a blue moon. I'm talking about that mouth that gets upset with your man for being home late because the bridge on 85 collapsed. You should have took your ass up 75. I'm talking about that mouth that gets upset when your man does anything that you don't like because you just don't like it.
Here we go.
Now, I want you to understand something, ladies. The power of life and death lies in the tongue. And it's also better to live in the corner of the roof of the house than to deal with a quarrelsome woman. I want you to understand, if you don't control your mouth and use it to build your man up, not to tear him down, well, that brother is going to leave you and your mouth single. All right, Devion, what do you think?
Actually, being more so of a logical female myself, I just have to agree.
Oh, yes, that's how we do it on this show.
Like, I have to agree. And it's speaking from firsthand experience. I have a sister who's more, I guess you can say, outspoken than I think that she should be at times. But, you know, I get her perspective. She feels like she's grown. She can say what she wants to say. But I try to explain to her that, yes, that's true, but you also have to understand the consequences that come along with that.
Absolutely.
So in retrospect with what you're saying, if the consequence is your man ultimately leaving you because you can't control what you say and how you say it, then that's just what you have to deal with. I personally believe that it's a way to say everything. Because I'm so good with words.
Good with words.
Like, you know, you have to be tactful, you have to be, you know, calculated, etc.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well said.
That's really good. I agree
Okay.
with choosing your words wisely.
Okay.
But there's duality in everything.
Okay.
Right? So
Okay.
you want to find your balance in communicating.
Absolutely.
Not to say you shouldn't express, like you said earlier. You definitely should. And there should be some type of mutual grounds that you can come to if it's a repetitive theme. Like you say, late for, I don't know, dates or late for work or whatever those cases may be.
Sure.
I don't think we're that extreme. If it was a near-death situation, we would be that extreme if the bridge collapsed.
You
I
did
think
make
we
us
would be
sound-
more
you did make us sound a little
concerned
bit like
than pissed off.
extra, but
So,
Brothers, I need y'all to call in 478-569.
There's some balance.
6474, brothers. All right, Brother Omar, what do you think?
great response.
Brother Omar, what do you
I
think?
agree also.
Yeah.
Brother Omar just left it at that. He said, yep, that's why y'all single, because of
Okay.
y'all mouths.
All
Well
right,
said,
well.
Brother Omar. Okay, now, fellas. Go ahead, sir.
well, that's not why. That may be one of the reasons.
Go ahead, Brother Omar. I had to stop her because, you know, she just wanted to run over you. I got your back, brother. Go ahead.
And you wanted me to comment on women may be single because of their mouth. Is that right?
That's correct, sir.
Yeah, I was just listening in on it. But, you know, I think for the most part, as a black man that grew up around black women, you learn how to deal with it. And so, you know, if you haven't grown up around black women, you don't know how to deal with it. But I've been around black women my whole life coming up in Philadelphia. So, you know, it's not a problem for me. I know how to deal with it.
You know how to deal with them, huh?
And how old are you?
So I don't look at that as an excuse, you know, for a brother to say, well, I'm not with a black woman because of her mouth. You know, if you understand black women and you deal with it, and, you know, they get their mouth off, and then y'all go ahead and do your thing and do whatever, you know what I mean? But she got to get her steam out, so I just understand it. So,
Don't ring that bell.
I don't look at that as an excuse, but I'm with the black women.
Very well said. Don't you bring that. Give me this bell. No, the issue that I'm having with it is that we are singling out black women. It is not just black women.
Oh, Brother Omar said
Brother
black women.
Omar, right? So not just black women. Okay. Maybe just people on the planet. We all come off the cuff sometimes. We all express ourselves. Hey, wait a minute
women. But fellas, don't think I'm letting you off the hook. I am not letting you off the hook. Fellas, you are next. Brothers, you might be single because you don't bring anything to the table. Matter of fact, you ain't got no damn table. I need you to understand something, brother. No, now I'm the only person to ring this bell in this piece. Brothers, you don't bring nothing to the table. Now I need you to understand. Women nowadays are so educated. They are so accomplished. They are starting businesses at a clip greater than our demographic. They're moving in ways that's ridiculous. Actually, they are rising as a gender. They've been like oppressed globally. But that bubble is burst, and they are breaking through all over the place, all around us. And here we go, coming to the table with low ambition or no ambition. Coming to the table expected to be mothered, smothered, looking for a woman to take care of us. No, my brother. This woman may already have children. She's not looking for a grown one. I'm going to need you to bring something to the table other than that wood. Now, here's what I need you to understand, fellas. You can come to the table with that wood, and yes, she might use you as an accessory, but that's about it. She's going to get what she needs, and she's going to send your ass home. But when you walk in masculinity, strong energy, your ambition won't be held down. And your drive will attract a woman to you more than anything else. Your drive, your presence, the way you walk and talk. She won't even ask about a table because she knows that you got one. As a matter of fact, you built it. So, fellas, if you ain't got no table, you're not bringing nothing to the table. Well, guess what? Your ass is going to be single. Brother Omar, I'm sorry. What do you think, sir?
Yep.
Straight to the point. That's what we men do. We get to the point. We get to the point. No chaser. All right, Gypsy, Empress, the Gypsy Empress. What do you think?
Of course, women are always looking for, or always in the balance for security. That's kind of what we're taught growing up, is finding a father, if we had our fathers, right? Following in the example of the security, that one that provides, that one that protects.
Right.
So absolutely, without a table, we're not coming over to eat, bruh.
She said, bruh. Okay.
You are bruh. That's the category you go into there.
All right, Devion, what do you think?
I mean, again, I just have to absolutely agree with everything you said, from just us as a gender and what we're accomplishing and the barriers that we're breaking, all the way down to what Miss Gypsy said. We're not coming over to the table. But what I will add that I think men are kind of not used to and also a little bit uneasy about is that, myself included, we're exercising our options. And me personally, I do what I want, when I want, how I want. So you're going to have to come with your table somewhat set and a plan as to how you're going to finish setting it in order for me to remove myself from just to
your
be
comfort
handling my
zone.
business.
I got you. I got you.
I'm not just.
All right. I'm right there with you. Well said. Well said.
That's
Okay.
really wonderful.
Okay.
Especially about balance with women being in our own right. We definitely want something that's a reflection, or if not better, so that we can learn from it, be able to elevate together. But if there's no foundation to elevate together, then it doesn't quite work for us.
I do not disagree. All right, so here we go. Now we're going to get into it. First of all, if you have not seen the Black Panther movie, I'm not going to spoil it for you.
Thank you.
I am going to tell you, though, that the movie is phenomenal. I am going to tell you that the movie is going to move you. You're not going to watch the movie and just leave like, okay, it's a good movie. No, you're going to go back and you're going to start reflecting on things. Some of the deeper messages, they're going to hit you. Oh, yeah. It's real. It's real.
The soundtrack is amazing, too, also, may I add.
It is, and I tell you, it adds to the movie.
Yeah.
the movie could be played without a soundtrack.
The soundtrack was organized by the Kendrick Lamar.
She said the
And
Kendrick Lamar.
you can tell.
Oh yeah,
Like
he's so
from start
talented.
to finish.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
it's just talent. But so talented.
So I have a couple of questions. Now, we'll start with you, Devion. Then we'll go to the Gypsy Empress. And Omar, we'll come to you next.
Yep.
All right, so here we go. He's ready. He's on deck. All right, so what do you believe the impact of the Black Panther movie is or will be? Devion.
I think the major impact is finally just unity. We've been waiting for something to unify us in a positive way, whether it be a movie, whether it be the simplest of things. But I think that the history of us in America has just been trying to get that support, that unity together with our culture, with our people. So anytime something comes out and it's as big as this particular movie, and we all have something to get behind and get its support and actually unify and come together for a particular reason, I think that it becomes just huge, something like magic, pretty much.
Agree.
Because we don't get that very often. So I think that I can't wait to see it. Thank you for not spoiling it for me.
I won't spoil it for you. But there is a scene that, no, okay, I won't spoil it for you. All
I was
right.
about to say, I was going to.
but absolutely. For me, watching the film and even watching the trailers, it was like I said earlier, a blueprint, right? Black Panther is making the impression of being a cultural aesthetic, like something in which we can follow. So it's not just like rah and war, but there's a certain grace. Je ne sais quoi. There's a certain grace, a certain power, a certain pride. And so this is something for us to look at as an example of how to be, right? How to treat ourselves, how to treat each other. It's powerful.
Agreed.
It's a global conversation.
Black magic.
Yeah, it's a global conversation.
Agreed. Brother Omar, what do you think? The impact the Black Panther movie will have on us?
Well, I think it's just a comic book situation, and it's an imagined world. You know, sometimes we don't allow ourselves to imagine. You know, in fact, when the Harry Potter book was this huge, big thing, I had a sister that hit me up online. She said, Omar, how come you don't try to do like, you know, some fantastical black book? And I said, yeah, I could try to do that, but what if I had like black witch doctors and stuff like that? I said black people would freak out immediately, you know, because they don't like that history of who we are. So with this movie here, I saw the movie too, and it goes back into the African tribal thing, and we're okay with it. But I'm like, man, you know, if I would have tried that in the book, you know, a black person would try it, how do we respond to it? So it's good to see people responding to it, but, you know, it's a lot of vehicles where I would love to see us out of the hood and doing something different, you know, in a much major way. But we have to support those things when they all come out. And so this is great that we're supporting this one, but there's a lot of venues that we could have supported that were black, with black ideas, black out-the-box stuff, black creativity. You know, I got a lot of vehicles as books that I wanted to push on that next black level, but sometimes we can be kind of, absent-minded about moving toward the future. You know what I mean? So sometimes we wait for other people to move toward the future and then plug us in it. So this is great that this whole movie is about Africans and black people in this futuristic world of the comic book atmosphere. You know, so I'm glad that we finally accepted ourselves in that position. But, you know, it still would be great if we could do that with some of our own vehicles. This, of course, is a Marvel comic book vehicle here. That it was created outside of us, with us in mind. You know, so if we can create that on our own and support it, that would be great as well.
Well said. Well said. Now, this kind of runs parallel to another movie that came out several years ago. What is it? It had the first black Disney princess. What was that? The Princess and the Frog?
Princess and the Frog.
Okay, let's talk about that now. When that movie came out, there was the same type of buzz. We finally got a black Disney princess.
Yeah.
And then what had happened was people said, don't go see that movie because it deals in witchcraft and voodoo. And they began to knock the movie down because our perception is voodoo is bad, voodoo is evil, and all this stuff. And it actually blunted the impact that movie would have had. So to your point, Brother Omar, which you brought out eloquently, and I'd like to push this to you, Gypsy Princess. How do you feel about that?
There's an imbalance, right? It's kind of like on one end it's okay, but once we cross cultural divides, then it's not okay. We've seen those type of magic happenings in Disney movies such as The Little Mermaid, Pocahontas, but when you see characters that are predominantly black and we're tapping into the same type of magic and industry, it becomes something to be afraid of. There's a knowledge there that they don't want us to tap into, don't want us to know about. There is magic, and that's finally being shown in examples like Black Panther and examples like The Princess and the Frog. There are things that exist outside of our knowing, whether we want to accept them or not, and they're being displayed as symbols in movies right in front of our faces.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Devian.
I would have to agree with her. I would say I didn't hear that at first. I do have a 6-year-old daughter. I heard don't go see the movie because she spends the whole movie as a frog. And they didn't really depict her as a princess throughout the whole movie as they do with some of the other princesses that Disney has brought into the forefront. So I did hear that. I didn't hear as much of the heavy, don't go see it because of the voodoo reasons, etc. But that never crossed my mind, even with my niece who's now 13 and my daughter who's 6 or 7. The voodoo part never crossed my mind, and I guess it's because I believe in different cultures, different, from Louisiana having their whole culture with the things that they do to even Haitians and, their, some of the things that they believe in, etc. So I believe it goes back to what you are used to, what you know, and what you're unfamiliar with, and what she said, there being some knowledge and education in that particular realm, and them not really wanting us to know, because anytime you're talking about, like you said, a Little Mermaid, any type of other cultures,
no big
even
deal.
Africa, as long as it's not African Americans or black people in general, it's cool.
Right. As long as we're not depicting that type of power, it's okay. When we start tapping into it, then it becomes scary. But I would love to see a black Harry Potter. All black sorcery. Yeah. I'd love it.
Now, Brother Omar, I'm going to ask you this question, and then we'll bring it back around the room. Here we go. Have you heard of the hoaxes that have been going around about the Black Panther, how they're taking pictures of women who've been assaulted and saying it happened at a Black Panther viewing?
I couldn't believe it.
Have you seen that on Twitter?
I have not seen that or heard that yet. Are you serious?
I'm serious.
I just read it.
Brother Omar, have you seen that?
Anything to tear us, anything.
Explain that again.
Okay. What's happening is they began to produce these images of women who had been assaulted, bloody, black eyes and everything, and saying this woman was attacked at a Black Panther movie.
Well, what they're saying is I was a white woman in the theater with my black boyfriend or with my white friends, and I was picked on or picked on to be picked out to be picked on because I am white and I was in the theater. And so these black people came and they beat me up and they're showing red dye or something on paper towels as if they were beaten.
That was one of them.
That was one of them.
But some of the other ones, they were taking actual evidential pictures of women who had been battered and abused, and then taking that picture and saying, this is what happened to me when I went to go see the Black Panther. Brother Omar, you never heard of that?
I have not heard of that, and it sounds absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's that new era we're living in where people are full of tape and everything, which, okay, we saw the movie, so I don't want to say a scene that was in the movie that made fun of that same exact thing where people got phones and now they want to tape everything. It sounds ridiculous to me, absolutely ridiculous. And I have not heard of that, so this is the first time I am hearing it, but it sounds ridiculous. If anybody's in the movie, let them watch the movie. Tell me, like, what the heck are you doing? That's ridiculous.
Right, and all of them were proven fake.
Yeah,
every single one of them.
So all of them, and I'm a little bit flabbergasted because the extremes that people go to in order to tear us down or tear something positive that we have going down, it never ceased to amaze me. But this is extreme. Like
now, what I did, I actually started to go through Facebook, and I found all these videos on Facebook of how we went to see the Black Panther. Now there were a couple of them that were just phenomenal. One of them I call Black Excellence. Now this is before the Black Panther came out. Now this is a a montage of these little children that are acting like CNN reporters, Angela Rye, and different people. And it's such a powerful image. Got to show that one. Then I saw another one that shows how we walked in to see the movie. So we're going to start with Black Excellence. We're going to play that clip first, and we'll just see how our younger generations, how they're beginning to empower themselves based off these positive images that they see. And then we'll come back, we'll discuss it. Here we go. Let's talk about this one. This is Black Excellence.
Goodness, look at this.
Black Excellence. Here we go.
Black Excellence is an all-time high. With me to talk about it is Bacardi Sanders, April Ryan, Pomona Sanders, and Angela Rye. Angela, all-time high.
Of course it's at an all-time high. Black votes consistently go high.
Give me some examples.
John, we don't have enough time. Serena Williams won the Australian Open. Wow, she was 8 weeks pregnant. And don't forget, Black women saved Alabama.
98%.
We got Issa, Ava, Lena, Oprah, and so many more.
We got some Black man magic too. Dapper Dan, a trailblazer in fashion, officially partnered with Gucci and opened up a Gucci store in Harlem. Rich Dennis, the brothers sold Shea Moisture, then made sure they established a fund to support Black women, then bought Essence magazine, making it 100% Black owned again.
We have made history in elections in Alabama, Virginia, and North Carolina.
And later got a man named Keisha.
Hey Keisha. Don't forget, we have the Black Panther movie coming out on February 16th, and it's already breaking records with pre-sales. And we have Ava's A Wrinkle in Time coming out on March 9th.
Wait, did we forget to talk about how Hidden Figures, Girls Trip, and Get Out shot at records? Listen, Black folks have always been dope and always will be dope.
Ain't nothing fake about that news. They have it. Black Excellence have an all-time high. Happy Black Issue Month.
I love it. I love it.
Black Excellence in full effect. Black Excellence. All right, Brother Omar, what'd you think of that one?
It was great to hear the kids talking that way. You know, in my generation, we had a whole lot of black stuff. So, you know, I guess in this new generation, when we done got all multicultural, you know, Black History Month, we're in the middle of Black History Month. I don't know if they even celebrate it anymore. It doesn't have the same feel as it had for my entire life. It's kind of faded away. And so we needed something like this to get us talking about being black again, because so many people now are into this multicultural. And I'm not anti, you know, other races, but, you know, I was born black. I'm a light-skinned dude even. You know what I mean? So we being a light-skinned dude, we get it extra. Why are you so proud to be black? Well, I lived in a black neighborhood in Philadelphia, and that light skin and dark skin didn't mean anything. We were all black. No white people lived in that area. So I was already in the Black Panther territory. I grew up in Philadelphia. It was very segregated, and we knew it. When you crossed over certain parts of Philadelphia, they let you know real quickly. You're on the wrong side of town. Get back on the black side of town. And so I'm quite used to being around black everything. So this is not new to me at all. But for the children to feel that way with Black Excellence, that's cool. You know, but I've been around Black Excellence my whole life. You know, we had a whole lot of smart people all around us that were all black, athletic people that were all black. We had the doctors that were all black. We had the nurses, everybody was it, because you had black neighborhoods.
Good deal.
So I grew up in that early 70s, before the 80s. And
Early 70s.
We
Early
moved to
70s.
Another black neighborhood where it was black people with money. And so
it's all
it's
black.
Great to hear the kids do that. But that just shows you how different in the times are, you know what I mean, for me growing up and what they're growing up in.
Well said. Well said. Devion, what do you think about that? Black Excellence.
I kind of teared up. I mean, I'm a sucker for things like that, again, because I have a daughter, and it's so important. You don't realize how important it is until you actually have a child, and you realize how the impact of the future and the things that they know and consume and take in and ultimately believe plays such an important part. So I thought that was amazing. I thought the way that they put it together was amazing, and that's going to be something that they remember.
Absolutely.
When they grow up for a very long time, it's going to have a direct impact. So I'm all for it. I'm here.
Well done.
Yeah. I think it's all a part of the changes we have been evolving into for a very long time. This is part of the global awakening, the global consciousness is happening on a global scale. And this is a part of the changes we've been working for a long time. So we should expect to see this. We should expect to continue to evolve. Yeah.
Good deal.
This isn't brand new. We've been here for years.
Now, she just went there with LL Cool J. You didn't catch that? Don't call it a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback.
There you go. You took it there the other night, too.
I sure did.
All right. Good deal. All right, now here's what I want to go to now. You know they were spreading those rumors about us. Well, I found a clip that shows how we walked in to watch the Black Panther. Now, at the premiere, folks was laid out. I mean, folks, they came in style. There was this one brother with a black and gold sequin jacket.
I saw.
Walked in like he was the king.
He was.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you see how the people walked in to see the Black Panther in this next clip, you're gonna really trip out. But what I want to do right now is I want to welcome real sisters to the show. Real sisters to the show. Real sisters. 3 real sisters to the show. We're gonna play this clip, and we'll come back and we'll meet these real sisters to the show. All right, here we go. This is how we went in. Wasn't nobody trying to fight nobody. Wasn't nobody trying to assault nobody. You could have came in. We wasn't mad. All right. Now, I want everybody to understand something. People were spreading all types of rumors about what happened at the showings of the movie. No, we went up in there and we were happy. We went in there and we had a good time. It wasn't no violence. Wasn't nobody trying to start nothing unless you started something. Don't think now. We were inspired. Don't get it twisted. We enjoyed the movie. But when Mumbuku, when he made that noise, don't get it twisted.
Listen.
Don't get it twisted.
Don't give away too much.
I ain't gonna give away nothing.
Yeah, okay.
I ain't gonna give away nothing.
He's gonna make.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm a vegetarian. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm a vegetarian. All right. So we got real sisters joining us. Real sisters. We have Pilar. We have Stacy, and we have Bree. Ladies, welcome to the show. Sound like sisters with voices over there. All right. Welcome again. Pilar, this is what, your 3rd time on the show or 4th? 3rd time. Okay, hold the microphone up so they can hear you. Okay, welcome back. Bree, 1st time?
Yes.
Hold the mic up so they can hear. Don't be scared.
Yes, 1st time.
Okay, Stacy, 1st time?
Yes, 1st time.
Okay, good deal. Now, we're going to find out a lot more about you ladies in just a second. And as we make these comments, feel free to join in. All right? One big family. All right, now here we go. The Gypsy Empress. Question for you. Why people hating on us being happy about the Black Panther and dressing up and going in costume? Why people like, y'all shouldn't be doing that? And it's black people saying, why y'all so serious about this movie?
Where do I begin? I honestly feel that there's so much of our psychological constructs that keep us afraid to evolve. It looks like too much. And on the flip side of that, it's intimidating, right? Because we've never seen ourselves in this light. It's intimidating when we start tapping into pride, right? But I've not heard the reports that were the police called when they were walking through with the drums?
No.
Oh, okay. So tapping into pride and tapping into the powers we're really made up of, it's intimidating to see. So why they hating? It's a global rise, and it looks very, very scary. And I really, really feel that on the flip side, they think we're going to do to them what they've done to us. But as far as our brothers and our sisters, it's a psychological construct. So each one teach one. We have to remember to just stay in our light, and hopefully we can be the example they want to be a part of.
Well
but
said.
there will be casualties.
Oh. All right.
Yeah.
Devion, what do you think?
I personally think, as far as from anyone outside of our culture, like she said, intimidation is definitely one thing, because black pride ultimately means white hate, because white pride means black hate. I think that's a common statement that many probably have heard. But so I think there's a huge intimidation factor, and then on top of that, this is America. We all know how this country was started and built, and the history that's behind it, etc.
Say
and
that.
how they're terrified of change. Hence, who's in the White House right now.
Gatekeepers.
So it's all, just a part of their process of just wanting to keep things the same, and things ultimately, like she said, evolving. Now, as far as us, we just have to really understand, like she said, it's an each one teach one type of thing, but even going back to slavery, going back to wherever, there are still going to be those that are just not with the movement. And, as much as we would like for every single black person to join together and kumbaya and hold hands and really take this, what she said, this global awakening, and really move with it, it's just everybody can't come, and everybody won't be able to come.
Absolutely.
So
Well said.
you can try to teach them and try to bring them along, but outside of that, you need to move along, and you will get checked if you try to stop what's.
There will be casualties.
There will be, like she said.
I high five to that. Right.
Brother Omar, what do you think? Why are some of our own people hating on us, celebrating the Black Panther movie by showing up in costume or kente or coming to America costumes? Why are people hating on that?
Celebrating it. Say that again. They're celebrating it how?
Well, people are celebrating it by going in costume or wearing dashikis or other African garb. But there are other people that are like, why y'all going so hard for this movie? It's a make-believe movie. Why do you think there's that bit of animosity or backlash?
Well, I see a lot of those comic book movies where they go dressed up as a character. So why should it be different for us? Now we're going in African garb, so that's not even costumes. That's real garb. You know what I mean? So I don't see a problem with that at all. I saw a couple people wearing the Black Panther gear, and the Black Panther gear, we want that gear to sell. It represents black people, and now of course they're gonna make commercial money off of it. But heck, they make commercial money off everything else. Why not make commercial money off of something that's aesthetically and culturally black? So I'm cool with that, man, because I've seen people going with the Star Wars costumes.
Star Wars.
People going with the Harry Potter costumes.
Absolutely.
And capes and, magic wands and all that. So I'm like, come on, man, loosen up and let's go with the Black Panther stuff too. They do it for everything else. So that's quite normal. I'm glad they're doing it.
Absolutely. One thing. Real Sisters, did you ladies want to contribute on this one, or are you ladies good for right now before I get to you?
We good for right now.
We good for right now? Okay. One thing I wanted to say, and go ahead.
I just want to add to that where you said, it's just a make-believe movie. There's a lot of ignorance surrounding that. When we talked about earlier the sorcery and the magic and just tapping into power, there are powers that we all possess that we can tap into. So for people to say that this is make-believe, it's ignorance.
I agree, because Avatar is make-believe, but we know.
So here's the thing. Brother Omar kind of touched on this. He said that people go to Star Wars or Harry Potter movies in costume. No big deal. Nobody says anything. If you've ever been to Dragon Con, people spend money on top of money on top of money to make these elaborate costumes, and they show up and they walk up and down Peachtree, and it's no big deal.
Sure mess up traffic.
Yeah, they sure do.
What's his name? James Shatner went on Saturday Night Live and had a skit where he told Trekkies to get a life. It's not that serious. Why are you guys following Star Trek so hard? And he had to apologize because he got hate mail. And people said, I can't believe you would say things about us. We believe in you. This is a real man who played a character on TV who got people believing in him. But we can't dress up a little bit on one movie, one time. Without this backlash. I don't get it. Somebody said Wakanda.
You get it. We get it.
I do. Somebody said Wakanda is make-believe. Well, so is Metropolis. So is Gotham City. Go ahead, Brother Omar.
let me tell you something. When I saw Meteor Man,
yes.
I saw it in D.C. at a special premiere, and that was Robert Townsend's comedy, and it was like a superhero comedy. I absolutely loved that movie. It was jam-packed in the theater, but a lot of people was like, "Oh, that's corny. It's Meteor Man." I said, "It's a comedy. It's supposed to be a comedy," and I enjoyed it. And if you watch that comedy, everybody's listening, go back and rent Meteor Man or buy Meteor Man or whatever. That one was all black too. Blacker than blacker than blacker than black, with all them black people in it. And I absolutely loved it. And I own it. The DVD is right in my closet, and I watched it plenty of time with my son. So again, it's us knowing and understanding how to love our own cultural stuff. And that was a comedy that Robert Townsend did a long time ago. And I loved it because I got what he was doing. And
Absolutely.
That was another blacker than black movie. Everybody in it was black. In fact, I don't even remember any white characters. Even the villain was black, just like this one. I don't remember any white people in the movie.
Yep.
You know, maybe at the mall scene or something.
Well said.
Yeah,
okay,
good.
so speaking of white people, Brother Omar, we'll start with you. Should white people go see the Black Panther? Yes or no?
Definitely.
Definitely. Okay.
Yes.
Devion.
Yeah, they need to see and celebrate black heroes just like we go see their movie. You know, so I see no problem with that, and they need to be as in fact, when I was in college, people were wearing those shirts. It's a black thing you wouldn't understand.
Yes.
I didn't like
School days.
Shirts. I'm like, why are you wearing that shirt, man? Because with me being a writer, I want people to understand me. I'm always explaining black people to other people. So I want them to understand us. I don't want them to walk around saying, I don't understand black people. No, I want you to understand who we are and what we do and why we do what we do, just like we understand them. You know what I mean? So I think they should be at the movie, checking it out, enjoying it, loving it, and taking their children so their children can learn to celebrate black superheroes, black culture, black women, black men, black everything. That's very important for them to get it.
Well said, well said. Devion, should white people go see the Black Panther movie?
I'm torn on this response, and I'll tell you why I'm torn.
Okay.
In essence, I believe exactly what he said, but I also believe they don't have the best of intentions. Hence why we're running into all these false accusations of white women getting beat up at Black Panther movies, etc. So if that's what you're going to do as a white person, and that is your motive, then stay your ass home. Don't come see the movie. Second of all, I think they have a fear of their children wanting to be like us, wanting to become our superheroes, wanting to follow in our paths, etc. And so I believe there is going to be a lot of apprehension. I believe their children are going to want to go and see it, but their parents, their grandparents, etc., they're going to be a little torn as to if they want to or not. And I'll remind you about the little white boy, or I'm not exactly sure who it was, but some news anchor, etc. But his son said he wanted to be like Barack Obama, and he just didn't really know how to take that. It was like he wanted to be he specifically said, I want to be a black man. And that's basically what he said. And he asked him why. He said, I want to be like Barack Obama. So, you know, in his efforts to explain it without sounding like it didn't bother him, which I feel like he failed doing. I know that that's one of their concerns, that our culture is so strong, our fashion, our heritage, everything about us is so interesting that their children, their culture is starting to gravitate towards more and more. So.
Absolutely.
We've always been very influential.
Always.
Right? We can walk into a room and just change the entire atmosphere. So there may be some fear there, but should they go and see it, the choice is theirs, right? The train is moving, so they can either jump on or not. As far as being an example, I think there needs to be a perspective, or a broader perspective. I think there are pictures painted about us that paint us in a certain light that's not so great. So going to see the Black Panther would show you that we too have pride and power, and we are regal, and we have grace, and we can carry ourselves, and we speak well, and we're educated, and we're mathematicians, and we're scientists. So having a different perspective, I think they should.
Well said. Well said. Okay, Brother Omar, you good on time? Can you stay with us?
Yeah, I still hear you.
All right, wonderful. Now let's get into something a little different here. Now, my granddaughter's birthday was last week. She turned 1 year old. We went down to see my mother in Columbus, Georgia. Went to my mother's favorite restaurant. We were sitting down eating. There were some young white children, the table right in front of us, and their parents. Nahari was sitting right next to me at the end of the table, eating, and she turned around, And she said, hi. Hi. The little white boy said, that is such a cute little girl. Hi. His little sister said, hi, how old is she? And, we answered, and she kept looking, kept saying hi, smiling, and the kids were just smiling. Their parents didn't say a word. Their parents didn't look up. When their parents finally did say something, they said, okay, that's enough. Turn around and eat your food. This was last week in Columbus, Georgia, in 2018. So kids don't know division. Kids just know, let's have fun. Let's all get along. Then the parents come along and reinforce old ways. Keep old things going. What we're starting to see, though, this younger generation, they don't care about race like other people did, the older people. And Oprah Winfrey said this a while ago, that there are some people that just need to pass on. They just need to die.
Oh, wow.
Once they die, maybe that will be in the past.
Said this shit.
Oprah Winfrey.
She really
Oprah
did.
Winfrey said there are just some people who just need to die.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And she's right. I mean, the whole essence of the good old boys is dying out, and there's a new generation of just indigos all over. As I say, indigos or light workers or whatever you want to call them. But there's a new day. There's a new time on the horizon. The evolution of the train is moving. So the old, what is old, is dying off. We can see it taking place, even in population, even the way we are populating. The old is going out. The new is coming in.
Agreed. All right, now we're gonna shift just a little bit. Batman, brother Omar, Batman or the Black Panther in the fight? Who wins?
Captain America and Black Panther in the fight?
No, Batman, Bruce Wayne, Batman, and
Batman. You
yeah.
Batman. Okay, all right. Well, they did one of those things online, and they said that, they have more technology. They got Black Panther has more technology.
Yep, he does.
So when the technology said it, they said he would win that battle. He has more intelligence.
Yep.
They had the Black Panther winning that battle over Batman.
Okay. Well said. Well said. Devion, Black Panther or Batman?
I have to go. I don't even really know. I'm gonna be honest, because I was in a comic book, Marvel, so I really don't even know a lot about the character. I just really want to see the movie.
Yes.
So come from somebody who doesn't know a lot and knows the basics about Batman. I still have to go with Black Panther because Batman never seemed like he did anything.
He did.
Like he always seemed like he drove around in his little car and he had some kind of bulletproof outfit on that saved his life a lot.
That's all.
And he has a couple of like karate tricks, but I never really got the hype.
That's right. He has karate tricks. That's all he has. Now I got this thing. It's called F Batman. We're gonna play this shortly. All right.
I'm going to be devil's advocate a little bit.
Let's play.
And I'm going to say I don't think we'd be able to rate who would win because I don't think they'd fight each other.
They would.
I don't think you think they would fight each other.
Yep.
I don't think they would fight each other. I don't sense that happening. So that it's hard for me to say that I think Batman would end up, cowering down and saying, let me just join your side. Let me join your side.
No, see, Batman. Thank you for your opinion. Here's the thing about Batman. Batman is psychologically damaged. Now, Batman is the Joker with restraint. He's the Joker. They actually relate to each other because they both share a certain amount of insanity. Batman was traumatized as a kid when his parents were killed. Yeah, that's it. But I think you started from the beginning, though. We're going to play it from the beginning. But the bottom line of it is the Black Panther is a much more mature, wealthier, polished up, more intelligent version of Batman. He doesn't own a company. He's the king of a country. He has enough money to buy Wayne Enterprises 25, 35 times. So the Black Panther wins this one hands down. Now, I found this little clip online. It says, F Batman. Now parents, if your folks, your kids are around you, I need you to put them away while we play this. All right, here we go. F Batman.
Oh, so you calling yourself the Dark Knight? Really, nigga? Did Hillary teach you how to name names? Let me guess. You got hot sauce in your utility belts. You want to be me so bad. You're what I'd be if I had no power. And they praise you for your non-miraculous mediocrity. You let the world know when you want to be a hero. As long as you're born rich, it seems privilege is the only thing super about you. Your writers reward your underachievement. Well, we must be twice as good for half the panel. So, not only will I beat you in chess, despite you going first every time, my soul be bounded with the Panther God, the ethereal fist raised above heaven from the Batmobile. I got a black man-mobile on suicide door to the kill switch. Catwoman keeps burglarizing you while me and my queen take this world by storm. Fuck a benign butler. I got a big mama lesson, been there, done that, and Bible. They say I just might be a black Bruce Wayne in the making. Fuck that, I am T'Challa. Put some respect on my name. Basking in benevolence of black bastardry. Can't copy the King Kunta charisma. Cam Newton meets Huey P. Newton in braids and bras. This Jesus on the cross meets Jesus on the ark. I be the full spectrum of black shit. From Wakanda to Zamunda, light skin to dark skin, sweet to salty grit, so old running man. The marginalized masses merge till we mirror Mansa Musa. Have you ever seen a black man's outfit protected from bullets? I got black boys everywhere, trading in their gold chains for vibranium. A metal made of every sound, and absorb. My people stay draped and dripped out in their own invisible voices. The Black Panther Party came after the Black Panther comic. Imagine what will happen when we soul train to the silver screen. We will know Superman is as irrelevant as phone. That the Batarang, it's just a wannabe Afro pick. The MLK's secret identity is Malcolm X. Surprise, motherfucker, look at me. I am the captain now. The real Dark Knight, Black Emperor, King of Kings, network in the train. Don't make me buy Wayne Enterprises. Don't make me buy Gotham City. Don't make me buy DC Comics Batman. You just might be my sidekick in the making. Marvel at this melody.
Boom.
Watching, please follow
Boom.
I like it.
Boom.
I liked
Boom.
it, especially the part about Cam Newton mixed with Huey P. Newton.
Absolutely.
Brains and power.
Absolutely.
So many. It's
Absolutely.
Wow.
They don't want to tap into it.
Absolutely. Notice how they also related the fact that the Black Panther comic started in '66, and not long thereafter came the Black Panther Party.
Yes.
Black Panther Party.
Yes.
All right. So we all can agree that this movie is powerful and it's going to have a powerful impact.
Global conversation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now we're going to shift. We're going to talk to some real sisters. Some real sisters. Pilar. One is missing.
Yeah, she got missing.
Where's she at?
She had to get some water.
Okay. All right. Well, she's coming back. So we'll talk to two real sisters. Pilar, how you been?
I'm good. I'm thank you, Jeffrey. You know, I'm the big sister over here, and these two are the babies, and this one just had a birthday the other day.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you for having us on.
Okay. Further proof that black don't crack. Well, happy 21st birthday.
Happy 21st birthday.
Yes.
Thank you. I thank you.
You're welcome. All right,
Here's
Stacey.
the baby.
There's the baby.
There's the baby.
Welcome back. Okay, now, real sisters, tell us your story. Tell us about all of you.
See how they looked at me? Yeah, she's
control
of everything. These are my sisters. We our common denominator is our dad. We all three have different mothers.
Okay.
And I think that it was important for us to come on here and show unity because we have different mothers, but we love each other dearly. And I think that a lot of times when you only share a father, you don't have such a close bond. Like, we don't use step in front of anything. We are sisters. We are very respectful to each other's mothers. We love on each other's mothers, and our mothers all love on us back. You know, but here's the thing, and our father didn't raise us. So sometimes you have to fight for a relationship. You have to want it. You understand what I'm saying? And leave no excuses to it. You know, because I love them. These are the babies. Like, when they do little stuff together and stuff, I'm always sitting off to the side and I'm smiling. I always want them to know that I love them as is in their moment, and I try my best to show them to just be themselves and be free and do what they want to do. And we're all almost, one of the babies not 40 yet, but we're in the 40 club. So we do now. This is
hit that bell again.
We understand how important it is to how important life is, and how just important. Period. This second half of life, we want to come together and do some amazing things together because we now understand why we are the way we are.
Okay.
Similarities between us.
All right.
Bloodline thing. This bloodline thing is amazing. With them.
Okay, that's interesting. Tell me about the similarities because now, well, let me ask this: did you three grow up together? Did you know each other when you were little?
No. But me and Stacy, we've been knowing each other.
Hold the microphone up so we can all hear you.
So me and Stacy, we've been knowing each other about 8 years, maybe.
8?
If
okay.
it's
Knowing of each other.
Knowing of each other.
Knowing each other.
But actually,
maybe 3 to 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is interesting. So you didn't grow up together, but now you know each other intimately. Your sisters, no step, no nothing.
No step.
Okay, so
we
what?
Don't use that. We don't use that. What's that? Or half.
Okay.
Or half. Right.
All right. So tell me this:
sisters.
what's the thing that you all find that you have in common that surprised you, like a trait or a habit or something that you do?
Probably everything. The style of maybe dressing, coming together with different ideas because we're all entrepreneurs and how we can collaborate and, possibly come up with something to help someone else. So it's a numerous of things.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Stacy. Grab that microphone. You over there being quiet. Okay.
I'm the quiet one.
Okay.
Really.
Okay.
More observant.
Okay. You got to watch them quiet ones. Got to watch them quiet
She's
ones.
the quiet boss.
Okay. Okay. Now, you being the youngest of the 3, how does it feel meeting them for the first time and then kind of falling into the group? Because do you have other sisters or brothers?
I do.
Where do you fall in that relationship with them? Older, younger?
I'm the youngest.
So you're youngest twice?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you just enjoying it.
I'm the baby. Yeah.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. So in dealing with your older sisters, how has it been getting to know them?
It's really been an easy journey, and everybody has been welcoming to it, and it's like, it's like she's been in my life all my life. Now that I know her, it's like we always been together.
Like, it feels like
like
we grew up together.
Okay, good deal. All right, now I got 4 sisters, and I got like 13 nieces and like 5 great nieces. I've seen women around each other for a minute. How do y'all get along after y'all get tired of being around each other? You know how sisters do now sometimes.
What are you trying to say?
I'm just asking.
You said, how do we feel?
Like, do you kind of like fight and fuss? Get tired of each other?
No, I don't think we've been in a setting that long to get to that point, but I feel like we will be able to handle it well if we were. I mean, we all have this trait where we know and we want to be left alone. So
okay.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, there's actually 10 of us, my daddy, and he had about 6 different women. With the youngest girl, Stacy was the youngest forever and a day, and now
I'm not the baby anymore, but I am. I'm the big baby.
Our little one, she's 6.
Yeah.
6.
It's a lot of us.
Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
We have a 6-year-old.
6-year-old sibling.
Yeah.
Wow.
And how old is LJ?
LJ is 8.
8-year-old little brother and
a
10-year-old sister.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
okay.
But the thing is, what I find is that we kind of bag back. We've learned each other enough to know when to bag back and not be offended. We've learned that we are loners in our own way. We will go off to ourselves, and we don't get offended when one chooses to go out because we just feel like we just need a look. They just need a moment to gather their thoughts and stuff, and we try not to push and pry and all that, but just also know the door is open whenever one wants to come in and speak. Because although we are very similar, we have our different personalities too. So we are learning to love as is.
What?
I have a question. How did they meet?
I like that.
All right, so Devin has a great question. That was my next question, actually.
Yeah, I'm just interested to know like how you ladies met because I'm a product of my father's only child, and I don't know how I would react if a sister popped out of nowhere. Like, I'd be like, and I'd probably embrace her in the end, but I don't know.
But you know what? It's funny.
Talk right into the mic.
It's funny that you say that because I was the baby. I really was. I was the baby. And then it was like, it's another baby. It's stay. I'm like, huh?
It used to be funny because I'll tell her, I'll speak and say, you're still the baby. But I'll be like, you're the baby.
Why?
Hilarious.
But I love my my baby. Like,
Okay.
really
So it
do.
worked out.
Like, seriously.
So there wasn't a shock factor or anything. You guys are just pretty embracing.
So I
You're
can
like,
remember,
okay.
you notice I always call you Bree Bree because somewhere in my head, I can remember as a little girl saying Bree Bree to you. So I always say Bree Bree. And I can remember holding Stacy's hand crossing the street, you know, just doing because our mothers and were a little close, you know, it's just, you know, so it's just like some things from childhood you just never ever forget. You know what I'm saying? And there was a time frame in between there when we kind of lost connect. But I want to say this, and I always say this when it comes to my dad. I loved him so much because he gave me all these incredible girls as my sisters because there's 6 grown sisters. So I got a huge family. You know, and that's the way I look at it. Like, and I can see him in every last one of them. Like, I see his ways in every last one of them. And I call her Larry Jr. Because Daddy was an entrepreneur, and he tried every little thing under the sun. He was a free spirit. He was that, and I see that in all of them, and I always want them to know that you ain't crazy, girl, because you want to try this and try that. It's just in your blood, and that's what she means by bloodline. Sometimes you have to make that effort to know where you came from, so you
do
can
a lot
know
of
where
research.
you're going. You understand what I'm saying? So you
Understand,
know
too.
which direction you're going in, and you need to know that your indifference is not exactly different because these two, they're so much alike, and they didn't. That is so funny, but I saw it.
We didn't grow up together at all.
Yeah, so we knew.
We took a trip. We took a trip about what? We took a trip, and then when we were in a room talking, and
Wait a minute. I just want to understand. When you took the trip, you didn't know each other?
Well, we have another sister. They used to be on the L together riding to high school in Chicago and would see each other all the time and didn't know they were sisters.
So Bree and Stacy, when you ladies were getting ready to take this trip, did you know you were related? You did? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue with the story.
when we were in the room talking and we was discussing clothes, and I was like, well, I used to make clothes when I was little. And so I brought that up because we were just having a conversation.
Okay.
And we have similar ideas.
Oh, okay.
Being a designer and making clothes. And I was like, oh, I used to do that too when I was younger. I used to put clothes together, and people used to come over and say, oh, could you cut these pants up? Could you rip this shirt up? Wow. And she's doing that now. And I'm just like, oh.
Okay, wow. Good deal. Brother Omar, did you have a question for these real sisters?
Nah, I'm just listening in, man.
Okay, all right. I wanted to make sure you were still there with us. All right, now.
It's harder to hear, because you're like right on the microphone, so it's harder to hear, the conversation they're having. They're not right up on the mic like you are.
Okay, got it. So, ladies, when you get an opportunity, hold it a little bit higher. Brother Omar, I do want to ask you a question. Tell us about your next or your upcoming projects.
Well, right now I'm working on music. I've been writing books for the last 25 years, and the reality is that, folks aren't reading like they used to. And they tell me all the time, oh, I used to love your book. I used to read all your books. You used to be everything is used to. And so I said, well, what you doing now? Oh, I don't have time to read like I used to, So now it's about the cell phone and social media. You guys are on Facebook Live right now. And so social media has really taken over a lot of the reading time that we brought back to life in the 90s. I was part of that group that brought the book club, the reading groups, and all that for black people. Terry McMillan was the leader of it. Toni Morrison was in the middle of it. Once we had a book reading club, and then once Oprah left television, man, it's like, now the reading thing is not there. I have a whole lot of older kids that will read. And so now I'm getting involved in music and audio visual because of the cell phone. They're always listening to music. They're always watching videos, whether they're funny videos, comedy, they're watching dancing videos, or watching, movie clips, or, just video clips, period. And so music and videos is where it's at now. And so for me to continue being a storyteller that people know, I wanted to go ahead and get back into music. And so as much as we talked about Black Panther, I actually have a Black Panther song that's out right now on digital media. You can look it up, Black Panther song by The Old Head is what I call myself in music. The Old Head, Omar, Tyree.
The Old Head.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it is. We're looking at young people, everybody say, oh, the young people controlling music now, which is ridiculous to say that people that have any type of wisdom and moral culture can't put a song out anymore. I think that's absolutely ridiculous and short-sighted. Now we have a whole bunch of young music where people lack maturity and they lack cultural balance in music. And so now we got a whole bunch of young people representing what black people are right now. And I think it's a wrong step for us to take to back away from that. So I'm getting back in it. And so when I do music with young people, I tell them, look, man, you don't need 20 cuss words in this. You don't need 18 N-words. You don't need, you know what I mean? Like, go ahead and create a song where you can play the song on the radio instead of having to have 20, 30 edits. And then the material that they're rocking to, sure, I like some of the beats, but what are you saying on these beats, man? Like, what are you talking about? And so I look at my generation, and you couldn't do that because our music was played on live bases outside, or on live radios outside.
Right.
So you had kids and parents all around. These guys are walking around with headphones on, listening to all kinds of stuff that you can't really play out in public. You know, so it's just different, man. So I'm getting involved in music. I am from Philadelphia, the Legends of Gambling Hub, Philadelphia International Records. I grew up listening to that, and I understand how to create funky music that still says something positive and great for the people. And so you can get that Black Panther song by the old head, Omar Tyree, on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever else you hear your music. And the YouTube video will be up in a couple more weeks. We're working on that right now.
All right.
So that's where I'm going now, and I have a whole brand, Hot Lava Entertainment, because it got to be hot if you want to keep the young people's attention.
Well said, well said. And actually, Brother Omar, what you're touching on is something that's important in our community. When we men show up, we give direction to the younger ones, but we have to show up and be about business, because these young kids now, for some reason, they act like they don't want to listen to nobody. However, when you walk in with masculine presence, real masculine presence, they will fall in line. All you got to do is show up, because they're starving for somebody to lead them. Starving for it. So kudos to you, brother. Keep up the good work. Okay, we're gonna flip it back now. We're going to flip it. I have this thing that I do where I talk about people who say some crazy stuff. Now people do the darndest things. People are real quick to put their foot in their mouth. People say stuff that's just stupid sometimes. And when people say things like that, you really have to say, you need to sit your ass down. Just is what it is. Just is what it is.
Oh, wow.
So I got this clip this week for Sit Your Ass Down. Now, this is Laura Ingraham, and she's making a comment and commentary about LeBron James and Kevin Durant, some things they were saying. When you hear the clip, we're going to discuss it and exactly why Laura Ingraham on Fox News clearly needs to sit her ass down. We ready with the clip? All right, no worries. Now listen, first of all, can't nobody say nothing about LeBron. I'm not a LeBron fan, honestly. I've never liked his, I've never been a fan, even though the guy is crazy. He's crazy good. What I do respect about LeBron is about business. All of his friends, he didn't give none of his friends any money. He gave them careers, ways to make money for themselves. No, you're not going to live off me. I'm going to help you live off yourself.
Teach the man how to fish.
Absolutely. Then what he did, he went back to his community and created a scholarship fund for kids to go to college. I'm not mad at him. That's what I'm saying. He didn't give them money. He gave them careers. So in addition to that, you have to remember that LeBron was smart enough not to take the first offer they gave him out of high school. He turned the first offer down. He said, you know what? If they're going to offer me $10 million right now, I hadn't played a minute of NBA ball, I'm sure they'll give me more money. And he turned Adidas down. Adidas ready to write him $10 million on the spot. He said, nope, didn't do it. Signed a deal with Nike that was much more lucrative on the back end for him. So when you get to who LeBron has been, how he's done well for himself, I'm not mad at him. He has my respect.
Smart businessman.
Absolutely. So we're going to play this clip, and we'll come back and talk about it. Here we go.
All right, we're going to create a new banner. This is a Jump Doc alert. NBA superstar LeBron James is talking politics again, and this time it's R-rated. Here's his barely intelligible, not to mention ungrammatical take on President Trump.
Ungrammatical.
In a new ESPN podcast.
The number one job in America, the point of person, is someone who doesn't understand the people and really don't give a about the people.
But wait, there's more gripping insight. ESPN host Carrie Champion asked James and fellow NBA star Kevin Durant about what she described as Trump's racist comments.
I feel like our team as a country is not ran by a great coach. It's not even a surprise when he says something. It's not even a surprise. It's like laughable. It's like
it's
laughable. It's laughable and it's scary.
But it's also scary because I shouldn't be numb to your racist comments.
Right.
I shouldn't be numb to your behavior.
Everything they're saying is true. I'm numb to this commentary. Like, must they run their mouths like that? Ooh! Unfortunately, a lot of kids and some adults take these ignorant comments seriously. Look, there might be a cautionary lesson in LeBron for kids. This is what happens when you attempt to leave high school a year early to join the NBA. And it's always unwise to seek political advice from someone who gets paid $100 million a year to bounce a ball. Oh, and LeBron and Kevin, you're great players, but no one voted for you. Millions elected Trump to be their coach. So keep the political commentary to yourself, or as someone once said, shut up and dribble. We'll be right back.
Was that real?
No, that's real. That's real. That's real. Now, hold the mic up. Hold the mic up. Now, here's the thing. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about it. Now, we're going to start with the real sisters. Pilar, how do you feel about what she just said?
First, was it your first time seeing it? I'm interested to know.
Yes,
so this is
yes,
your first time.
Okay. And I probably cannot. This is a little censored.
Wait a minute.
I'm sorry. I
see the foot.
I can't find. Yep. I cannot find the words that is okay with saying right now. How I feel about that. Like I'm really shocked at. I'm speechless.
I can't believe they let that air.
No, this is Fox News. Of course they're going to play something like that. Go ahead, Bree.
I'm just shocked. Seriously.
Okay. Stacy, into the microphone. Nothing? You good? All right.
Yeah.
Empress.
What's our sister's name that is the sports commentator on ESPN? Janelle. Wears the braids, the twists and stuff.
Yes.
Jamil.
Excuse me, Jamil, if you're going to be listening to this, right? So she was on temporary leave for speaking about politics and race relations on ESPN, right? Suspended. Excuse me. She was suspended, and we had to come together to fight to help her get her job back, right? What's going to happen to this woman is what I want to know, because she followed along the same lines, and I heard you say that she's being drugged, right? I just want to know what's going to happen to her. Is she going to face the same consequences anyone else has to face? Because at the end of the day, we know we cannot control what they say or what they think. We know what their thoughts are, but what are we prepared to do about it? We're going to let her keep her damn job, or are we going to do something to get her ass fired? What are we going to do about it?
Good deal.
That's the question.
Well, I would like to let the ladies know she is currently facing a defamation case for some of the things that she said. She's calling it bogus because she doesn't believe she's an author of a book called "Shut Up and Something." I don't know. So I did do a little bit of research when I saw the clip just to see who the hell she was, etc. So she is a famed author of that, but she is facing a lawsuit. She is getting so much backlash that it's not even funny. And what I think, which is always the case when it comes to Fox News or any type of business or company, when their company starts receiving that heat and their stock and their reputation starts to kind of do like this, that's when they want to take action. So the mere fact that this clip by itself has gotten over 4 million views and the backlash from it is not. Fox knew they were going to get backlash. That's why she asked why they let it air and why they did let it air. But it's it starts to become too much at a certain point, and then they're gonna she's suspended on paid leave, or to try to let it die down. But
it pisses me off because it's kind of like you throw a rock and put your hands behind your back, right? The damage has been done. You've said it, so now what are the consequences? They always kind of get away with saying it and doing it and say, "Oh, I apologize later." But the fact is, you've got what you wanted to say out there. So it's our turn now.
And
what are we gonna
like
do?
That black dude and that white lady who made the comment about Puffy when he said he wanted to own a football team,
had to apologize.
and had to turn around and apologize. I guarantee you, in 48 hours, a public apology, whether it's a BS one or not, will be issued.
Of course.
And so, and that's always their turning point. They always come back and want to apologize and feel like it wasn't racist and that wasn't their intent, and et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, be please.
All right, let's see. Brother Omar, what do you think?
Well, again, with these guys making the money they make, I got a song for that too, man. I got a song called NBA Contract where I'm talking about these guys making 20, 30, and 40 million. And I feel sorry for them because in the black community, a whole lot of us don't make that kind of money. And the billionaires, a lot of them are based on entertainment from our community. You look at, Magic Johnson, being close to it, Michael Jordan, of course, Oprah Winfrey, and then Bob Johnson, entertainment people. They have entertainment where they got famous and big with money like that. And so LeBron's another one, dunking the basketball in our community. Is that important? Even looking at Floyd Mayweather, knocking people out, is that important where their revenue is that high? And so now you have somebody to make that type of comment about it. I can't get that mad at him because if you look at it from a straight aesthetic standpoint, like, wow, he's making that much money. That's what it is. He's running up and down the court, dunking the basketball. He's a great embodiment specimen. It's just a huge dude with that much agility and speed and power, but he's using it in a way where he gets paid for it because it's a phenomenal thing to see. So I get both sides of it. I'm looking at that and saying, wow, he's making that much money to do that. But on the flip side of it, since I'm black, I'm like, hey, man, if they want to pay that much, go ahead and get that money. But from another standpoint, I can see why they would say, like, okay, this dude gets that much money to dunk a basketball. I can't even say anything about that. I'm like, yeah, it's crazy, but I'm not going to hate on that money because, again, when you can do it at that level and people want to pay that much for it, I say, well, you deserve it. Same thing with Floyd Mayweather.
Okay.
You deserve it because he can get that many people to follow and to watch and to want to see him get knocked out. With Floyd Mayweather, people want to see him lose.
Right.
You got to understand that black people can't afford him on that level. He's making $200 million in a fight. That's not black money. That's white money saying we want to see him lose. And what did Floyd do? He said, I know white people want to see me lose. So he went in here and picked some big-time white dude that wasn't even a boxer, took him from mixed martial art because he knew that all these white people would want to see him lose again. And sure enough, he took all those white people money and won again. And so again, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, we got the superhuman black athlete, and we're paying them all that money, and they're kind of pissed off about it. But I can't get mad at him. The fact he's getting that much money to dunk a basketball. It's what it is.
Okay. Now I want to take that point, which is a good point, and I want to make a different point. So here we go. Yes, LeBron and yes, Floyd Mayweather make a lot of money at sports, athletics. What I will say about LeBron has done more to be vocal, to speak up for, to stand up for, and stand out for our community than Jordan, than Floyd Mayweather. And he still gets the money. In fact, he's going out and he's making more money by diversifying his talents. So what I'll say, Laura Ingraham, I understand where you were trying to go with this. You were trying to say, kids, this isn't a role model. And you intimated that Donald Trump is a role model because millions of people voted for him. Here is the reality of it. Millions more voted for Hillary Clinton. The way that our country is set up with the Electoral College, it makes sure that no one state has more power because of population than another state. So it basically balances the votes out. So it's possible to lose the popular vote, which he did, and still win the election, which he also did. At the same time, you cannot tell me that Donald Trump has carried himself in a presidential way, Laura Ingraham. You cannot tell me that Donald Trump makes you proud to say that's my president, Laura Ingraham. You also can't say that Donald Trump, with all of his billions, is a good businessman, because Deutsche Bank only did business with him again after he had filed bankruptcy for the 11th time. They only did it because they knew down the line his name, his brand, would be able to get them some type of revenue. Now, guess what? When he became president, Deutsche Bank had a lot of investigations on them stop. They stopped. That's not by accident. Not by accident. So I'm going to leave you with this, Laura Ingraham. I actually watch you on Fox News because I like to see what other people think about different topics. I actually followed you for a while, Laura Ingraham, when you left Fox and you came back to Fox. And now that you're back to Fox, you actually just need to sit your ass down and stop acting a fool. You know better. You're calling somebody out who's actually been classy, who's given back to the community, who is just as educated as Sean Hannity is, no college degree, and he doesn't need one. All right.
Can I just say that I'm so...
Yes.
Social media has its disadvantages, but the advantages that it's bringing to these racist people who feel like, who are so used to being able to get on TV or get on their little platform and say what they want to say, and now that they're actually having to suffer the consequences and suffer the backlash from it, from our community and even from their community, people who, you know, their peers or whatever. I think it is so refreshing because they're so used, especially the baby boomer generation, prior to the millennials, they're not used to that.
Being held accountable.
They're just used to getting on TV or getting on the radio and saying whatever they want to say and not really having to deal with what comes afterwards. But social media has made you accessible. And now you're going to answer to or deal with losing your job or millions of people or not even being able to get on social media now because you are being bullied to the point of no return. And these people are ruthless. They will go after your family, children, etc. And you're talking about LeBron. So I can only imagine.
This president has made a lot of people bold, and it shed light on what we thought was dead. It's not dead. And she's just a prime example of that. This whole experience is a prime example of that. And I say allow them to come out and expose themselves.
Yep.
You know, that yes, that lets us know where our aim is, where we're going to find our balance and just move into the space. But it's okay. It's fine. Let them talk. Let them feel the way they want to feel. The train is moving.
All right. My real sisters. Let's get back into it. Okay. What's coming up? What do y'all got going on? Y'all up to something? What y'all doing? What's getting ready to happen? Talk to me.
Well,
she's a spokesperson.
We are coming up with something because we now realize in the second half of life, as we're getting to know each other, that we actually have an empire. We all specialize in different things, and we, as sisters, we pat each other on the back, we cheer each other on, and I think we always try to early on to do little things together, but we were all, you know, we have children, and one of us is a nana and all that stuff. So, you know, we have, you know, college bound and just our kids getting into their own, you know, and you want to support them and stuff. And now we're realizing we're beginning to see each other for exactly who we are and what our specialties are. And we're willing to invest in each other as well as ourselves and come together as a company. So we're working on it because we do all specialize in something. So it's coming. You got your fashion, you got your health and wealth, you got someone making sure home ownership and, you know, making sure you got your ducks in order, that insurance and everything. So we all really do. And when you get to know us, we specialize in something. And this whole 40 Club thing.
40 Club.
I always tell Jeffrey, we discussed this. you're at this age where you don't want to go where the twerkers are. You don't want to. You understand what I'm saying? Like you feel like, okay, I'm not there, but at the same time,
Not the A or
no
B.
offense, you don't want to be over here with Stacey Adams in the suits and stuff either. So there is a lane that needs to be created for the 40-year-old woman because she's still young, she's still vibrant, she still has goals and dreams and desires and everything under the sun. So we're coming together to make sure we help showcase what that lifestyle is really about in living, because this is our second half.
Second half.
You know, I always call the 40 part your second half. You go in the locker room, what do?
You got to regroup.
You got to regroup. You assess everything. You think about everything you've learned the first half, and you apply what you need to the second half. Bree and I were discussing today, as far as even our children and grandchildren. It's okay to take what you learn, you know, in your childhood, and it's okay to say, you know what, I want to take that on with my kids. And then another part is, nope, I'm going to break this cycle right now. Like, I'm going to stop this right now, and it's okay. I think a lot of times our parents did what they could to raise us, and they did what they thought, you know, was good, but time changes. You know, and it's okay to say, you know what, maybe that wasn't good. You understand what I'm saying? It's not to say you're belittling or downing your parents or anything when it comes to that. It's just that this is a different time, and you need to, you know, put it all in there. So we got some stuff under our sleeves, and I'm so happy at this point. I think we were a little lost before Daddy, just a little bit.
Okay.
And then, you know, Jeffrey, you know our story. Our father passed away November 18th of last year. So, yes. But I can say this: it made us love each other even harder.
Well said. Well said.
It really did. It made us say that was the common denominator, but we're gonna keep this going. You understand what I'm saying? Just because he's no longer here, hey, this is why we're sisters. So.
Well said. Well said. Now, we're getting close to the end of the show. I do have one more segment. This is well said. I'll find something on the internet where somebody actually says something profound. They'll put words to something that happened, and they'll say it in a way that's just incredible. We had another school shooting. Yeah. Another school shooting. A young man walked in with an AR something, semi-automatic, killed 17 people. Yeah. Walked out, went to a store not far from the school, and was finally apprehended and taken into custody, alive.
Please don't forget that part.
Yeah, alive. There were all types of stories that basically made him a sympathetic character. Basically painted how his household was this and how he had to deal with that and deal with that. And it happens so frequently, you know what's going to happen. Yeah. You know what's going to happen. Yeah. But this segment on Well Said, this gentleman basically spoke out on the routine. We have a tragedy, this happens, and this is what people say. So I want to play this segment because it really speaks to, it's well said, it really speaks to just how senseless this has gotten, how almost desensitized we are to it, because the same thing happens over, and nothing changes. As a matter of fact, it just gets a little more worse every time. So here we go with this segment. This one's called Well Said.
So Dale Hansen moves away from sports this morning.
He has something he wants to say about school shootings. Here is his extra point.
Another high school shooting yesterday, this one in Florida. 17 dead, the last report I saw. And everybody sends their thoughts and prayers again because that works so well. This is the 18th high school shooting in America this year, and we have 10 and a half months to go. We've had 290 since 2013. We average about one a week, but there's just nothing we can do. If it was a Muslim or a Mexican doing the shooting, how many new laws and how much money would we spend then to stop the madness? But since it's almost always a white kid, there's just nothing we can do. America has 5% of the world's population, and yet 31% of the world's mass shootings. We're worried about people coming to this country. They should be worried about us going to theirs. Australia had 4 mass shootings between 87 and 96. They passed stricter gun laws and haven't had a single mass shooting since. And here I thought, guns don't kill, people do. Is this the people we are? Last time I said we need to find a way to stop a nut with a gun, and that's all I said. I get an email saying, I'm saving my last bullet to put it right between your eyes. Just another responsible gun owner in America, and I'm taking all bets he's a white guy. So there's just nothing we can do. I'm Dale Hansen. It's getting harder to enjoy the day.
Well said. All right. Parting words. Brother Omar.
So, Dale Hansen.
Brother Omar, what parting words do you have for us? And tell everybody how they can reach you, contact you, and purchase material from you.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Thanks for having me on the show. And again, that Black Panther song is available. And the NBA contract is also available online, wherever you stream music, download music. And I'm going to have 2 videos up on YouTube in the next couple of weeks. You can find me at anywhere you can spell my name, Omar Tyree, Tyred, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on SoundCloud, on Reverb Nation. I also have the Instagram page, that's only one, the numeral 1, Omar Tyree, on Instagram. So I'm on all the different social media pages. And then I have my company, HotLavaEntertainment.com, where you can read all about the music I'm about to get involved in. And we're going to be updating that website very shortly as well. So you can hit me on all the social media sites because you have to be a part of that world in this new era.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Brother Omar. We really appreciate that. Devion, if people want, or if you like to share how people can follow you on social media or contact you, where would they go? If you don't have to share it now, just say I'm good.
I forgot my.
She's good.
That
I can tell you.
No. That ATO chick for Instagram. That's really as far as it goes for me. Yeah.
All right. Perfect.
And I'd like to make a comment about the last video.
Okay. Fair enough.
What was the title of it?
Well said.
Well said. It was very well said. I agree. And when we talk about not letting people in, not letting people out, it seems that the war and the separation is right here at home in our own backyards. So maybe we should build walls around ourselves and deal with ourselves first. But yeah, Instagram, you can follow me on there at _Gypsy Empress. It's GYPSY Empress. And join me there and I'll join you guys back.
Wonderful.
Question,
Yes.
to piggyback off of what she said, I'm always torn when it comes to these school shootings because, like he just plainly said, it's always usually a little white kid that does it.
It is.
And my daughter goes to a predominantly white school, and it's unfortunate because a lot of the best opportunities are found at their school as far as, like, you know,
resources.
Yeah, resources. You know, like we could try to do other things, but it's easier sometimes to just, you know, put them there. So against my will, she's there, and it's working for her. But I always find myself conflicted as far as warning her about some of the characteristics and traits that they clearly display. Hence, we've had so many school shootings and they're almost always white versus, like you said in the earlier part of the show, not teaching racism, not trying to instill that in her, because you're right. Like my daughter's best friend is a little white girl named Abigail. And so I allow her to have that. I allow her to move like that. But a part of me as a mother and as a parent and being cognizant of what's going on and the BS that they bring, whether they want to acknowledge it or not. As a mother, I want to warn her, protect her, etc. about that, especially because she's around them so much.
You want to have the talk with her.
At 7 years old, I'm ready to have the talk, and I don't know if that's an appropriate age. So what do you ladies think? Because she comes home, she's like, yeah, Mom, they wanted to touch my hair, and you know, we've had so many little small things that have just really triggered me. But again, she's tested and gifted for math. The test scores are great. She's flourishing or whatever.
It's a great question. Ladies, any feedback?
Well, I have a 10-year-old, and she was in a predominantly white school. I took her out because she got accepted into a better school, which is now predominantly black.
Which school?
So
is it here in Atlanta?
No, it's in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
So she know both sides. I mean, me and my daughter, we're like best friends. She's 10, and I talk to her. She asks questions. She's one of them kids that asks questions. But I think I don't think it's an age where you got to determine when do I speak to my child about.
And not only ask the age part, I'm sorry to cut you off, it's because my daughter, and I hate to use this word, but she's a little airy. Like, only because she's like, and not airy sort of sense where she doesn't know what's going on because she's very intelligent, but she's not cognizant to any negativity. She's the sweetest, memorable, just easygoing, perfect energy child that you'll probably ever come across. So even though I try to explain little things to her.
But what makes you want to explain those things to her? Like, did something happen? Or, you just out the blue?
Well, I mean, I think it's more of just the parental, protection thing, where I just saw someone grieve for their child the day after having a great day with them on TV. That makes me think about, wow, my granddaughter's going to have to go to school one day, and I worry, and she's 1. So, it's just that fear of when we should have those types of conversations. Now, I don't want to diminish this conversation because it's powerful. That's a whole nother show.
Yeah, because I was
That's
about
a whole nother show.
I was about to go all the way in.
Because I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. So what I want to do, because we got 6 minutes.
Okay.
6 minutes. 6 minutes. I'm coming to you, Pilar, right now. Pilar, let me ask you this question. What 5 things would you say to your little sisters at this age? And they're not your little sisters, they're your younger sisters.
They're going to always be.
I know it. I'm the youngest, and my kids still call me, my brothers and sisters still say little to me. I'm pushing 50. Y'all better get out of here with this little stuff. Go ahead, Pilar. What 5 things would you say to your little sisters?
The number one thing is that I love them. I love you. I will love you no matter what it is you do in life, and you guys know that. They know that it's nothing they can't come talk to me about or express to me, and I won't sit and listen. That's my number one thing. Mm-hmm. My number 2 thing is be you. Whatever that is, and whoever loves you, they're going to love you unconditionally, and that's who you really want standing by you every day. Not love with conditions on if you choose to do this or you choose not to do that. And we are forever students. That's my number 3 thing. We are forever students. We are flawed. We are human, and we love in different ways, and it's okay. That health is your wealth. And I always want them to put that first, because not only do your children need you, I need you too. So when you're making choices, I'm not saying live your life for me or anybody else. I just want you guys to know how much you're loved, and we need each other here as long as possible. And my number 5 thing, let's ride this out. Let's ride this shit out to the very end. My ride or dies. Y'all know that.
All right. Yeah. All right, real sisters. If people wanted to contact you or follow you, where could they reach you and follow you on social media? You don't have to share it. You don't have to share it.
Well, I mean, I'll share mine because I'm an insurance agent and a real estate agent as well. So
okay.
I'm not, Facebook is Bree Luster, and Instagram is Kisses and Hugs. Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
All right.
So yeah, follow me.
Okay. Good deal. Thank you, ladies, for coming to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies, for coming to the show.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having me.
All right, I need everybody to understand something. I'm going to tell you something about this Black Panther movie that I took away from it. There is a segment in the movie where you realize this. Sometimes the enemy is within, not external. Each one of us has that little voice that has talked us out of doing things sometimes. We get this flash of brilliance where, this idea hits you and you get ready to put it into action. Then that voice says, nah, player, you got to go to work in the morning. Or you got to do this. Or you ain't got enough time, or it probably won't work. And you listen to that voice. I need you to choke that enemy right there inside of you to death. Choke that enemy out, because that enemy is killing your brilliance. When you walk in brilliance, there's almost nothing that you cannot do. I don't mean brilliance like the sun. I mean that radiance that's inside of you that's more brilliant than the sun. See, when you kill that enemy on the inside, what somebody says on the outside, it don't bother you because it has nothing to cling to. But when you got that enemy putting you down on the inside and somebody says something on the external, well, it has something to stick to because you've been beating yourself up on the inside. Stop doing that. Choke the enemy inside you to death and watch your brilliance grow.
Very good.
All right, we do this every Saturday from 6 o'clock p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. right here on Instinct Radio. I need you to follow us. You can find us on Twitter, Instinct_radio, Instagram, Instinct Radio, Facebook, Instinct Radio Station, Periscope, yes, Periscope, Instinct_radio, email instinctradiolive@gmail.com. I am Talk with Jeffrey on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, Nigel's Pop on Twitter. I still don't have a Snapchat. I just don't get it. I tried it. It just don't make sense. Yes, it don't make sense. I ain't snapping. I am not snapping. Just not going to happen. Now listen, we talked about my movie, The Black Panther. I need y'all to go see it. It's a fabulous movie. Watch it twice, because the second time you're going to see some other things in the movie that you missed the first time. We've talked about black excellence. We've talked about why some men and some women are single. We talked about people who need to sit their asses down. We talked to the Gypsy Empress. We talked to Devonia. Dev, I'm sorry. I've been saying your name right all show. Get you in the show and mess it up. Then we talked to the real sisters and Brother Omar Tyree. It's been a great show. But we're at the end of the show now, and I am out.
Wonderful.
The radio.
Who is that on the radio?
You really want to know who's on the radio?
Great show. Thank you.
Let's talk about it.
Jeffrey. Let's talk about it live with Jeffrey L. Miller. Watching is the best decision you'll ever make. Saturdays from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. Call or text in live, 478-569-6474. Hashtag Let's Talk with Jeffrey. Check us out on www.instinctradio.net or download the Instinct Radio app in your Apple or your Google Play Store.
Let's give them something to talk about.
It's almost showtime, people. Let's tune in to see what Jeffrey has in store for us tonight. And here's your host, Jeffrey L. Miller.